back to Franchise Players. James Wilson will be back here with us here shortly. Do a little more NBA, a little true-false segment we'll do with James Wilson. If you're a huge auto racing fan, you should check out the Pit Stop with James Wilson every Friday at 4 p.m. during the Friday Rush on Tobacco Road Sports Radio. Speaking of Tobacco Road, it's Tuesday, so why don't we go around Tobacco Road? The top sports news for the ACC Big Four as well as area schools on Tobacco Road. Let's go ahead and get it in. Let's start off in Winston-Salem in the tray. Wake Forest women's basketball senior forward Ivana Raka was named a finalist for the Women's International Player of the Year, as announced by World Exposure Report on Monday morning. The Belgrade, Serbia native is one of 10 finalists for the award. She's a two-time All-Atlantic Coast Conference selection, and she had her best season to date, coming out of the ACC tournament averaging 16.8 points per game and 9 rebounds per game, including serving 9 double-double performances. Against Virginia Tech, she had a near record-setting day on the boards at Virginia Tech when she pulled down 19 rebounds. Goodness gracious, to go along with 14 points. Her 19 rebounds were just 3 away from the all-time program record for Wake Forest. She's nearly the first Demon Deacon since Dorica Hamby in 2014-15 to average a double-double over the course of the season. Her points per game and rebounds per game both rank in the top 5 in the conference. Raka became just the 4th player in Wake Forest history to earn first-team All-ACC honors, joining Dorica Hamby, who did it twice in 2013-14 and 2014-15, Tracy Connor in 95-96, and Jen Hoover in 1989-1990. She's currently 6th in program history with 17 career double-doubles. Raka is also one of just 4 players to rank in the top 10 in scoring with 1,469 points, which is 9th, and 705 rebounds, which is 10th. Let's go down Tobacco Road to Raleigh, North Carolina State. The NC State men's basketball team was selected for the 2021 NIT. They will begin play this Thursday against Davidson. The game will be played at UNT Coliseum in Denton, Texas. The tip-off is scheduled for 7 p.m. The games will be televised on ESPN. This is the Wolfpack's 13th appearance all-time in the NIT. The Pack has an 18-13 record in NIT games. NC State last played in the NIT in 2019. That season, the Wolfpack advanced to the quarterfinals before falling to Lipscomb 94-93. The Pack leads the all-time series with Davidson 69-14. A majority of those games took place prior to NC State joining the ACC in 1953. Since 1953, the Pack has a 16-2 advantage in games played against the Wildcats. Davidson, however, won the most recent matchup of the two programs, defeating NC State 72-67 on December 6, 2008, behind a guy you might have heard of before, Steph Curry, and his 44 points. Let's go a couple of miles across the triangle to Durham in Duke. Duke's basketball season may have ended without an NCAA tournament berth for the first time since 1995, but the Blue Devils are still very much in the running when it comes to key recruiting battles in men's basketball. On Sunday, Trevor Keels, a 5-star, 6'5", 210-pound shooting guard from Virginia, narrowed his list of schools down to 4. Duke, Kentucky, Villanova, and Virginia all made the cut. A former teammate of Duke freshman guard Jeremy Roach at Paul VI Catholic High School, the 6'4" Keels will make his college decision in under a couple of weeks on April the 4th. Keels is ranked as the 16th overall prospect in the class of 2021 by 247sports.com, 19th by ESPN.com, and 20th by Rivals.com. The NCAA regular signing period begins on April the 14th, and while Duke has already signed 2 5-star recruits in forward Paolo Blanchero and small forward AJ Griffin, there are other 5-star prospects on the Blue Devils' radar. Small forward Patrick Baldwin Jr. could announce his intentions at any moment. Baldwin looks to be favoring the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, where his father, Pat Baldwin, is the head coach. He also has Michigan, Kentucky, and Georgetown on his current list. IMG Academy 6'11" center Charles Bediako, a top 5 center in the nation according to 247sports.com, says he plans to commit in March. He's considering Duke, Alabama, Michigan, and Ohio State. Let's go 8 miles up the way to Chapel Hill, North Carolina. The North Carolina men's basketball team is the number 8 seed in the NCAA Tournament South Regional and will play number 9 seed Wisconsin on Friday. The Tar Heels and the Badgers will play at 7:10 p.m. on Friday on CBS in West Lafayette, Indiana at Purdue's Mackey Arena. The winner will advance to play the winner of the game between number 1 seed Baylor and number 16 seed Hartford. The Tar Heels, 18-10 on the season, were the number 6 overall seed in the Atlantic Coast Conference tournament last week, and they advanced to the semifinals with wins over Notre Dame and Virginia Tech before losing to Florida State. Heading back towards the Triad, let's head up UNC Greensboro. The UNCG men's basketball team earned the number 13 seed in the East region and will open the 2021 NCAA tournament against number 4 Florida State on Saturday at Bankers Life Fieldhouse at 12:45 p.m. The game will be televised on True TV with Brian Anderson, Jim Jackson, and Allie LaForce on the call. Bankers Life Fieldhouse is the home of the Indiana Pacers and the Indiana Fever. All 68 teams will be playing really 72 teams will be playing in the state of Indiana for this year's NCAA tournament. Bankers Life Fieldhouse is one of the sites selected to host a regional. UNCG is back in the tournament for the second time in 4 years after winning the Southern Conference Championship last week over Mercer 69-61. Overall, this is UNCG's 4th trip to the NCAA tournament. The Spartans were a number 13 seed in 2018 when they dropped a hard-fought 68-64 decision to Gonzaga. I actually remember watching that game and rooting UNCG on. The Spartans have been one of the most consistent programs in the entire country since the start of the 2016-17 season. They've enjoyed 5 straight seasons with at least 20 wins. During that span, UNC Greensboro has won 125 games. Florida State in the same span has won 120. UNCG also has more victories than North Carolina and Kentucky over the last 5 years. Senior Isaiah Miller leads the Southern Conference in scoring with 19.3 points per game and steals with 2.6 steals per game. If you've not seen Isaiah Miller yet, take this time to watch him before he moves on to a pro career. I do believe he's going to get drafted in the NBA. He is a showstopper. He's also averaging 6.7 rebounds and 4.8 assists per game. Just a complete player. Keyshawn Langley, the sophomore guard for UNCG, averaging 9.8 points. One of 7 UNCG players averaging between 6 and 9 points this season. Definitely keep an eye on UNCG. Florida State's got a lot more height than they do, but they're a very scrappy bunch. UNCG is very well coached by Wes Miller, who Carolina fans should be very familiar with. That should be a good game. I'm definitely going to check that out on Saturday. As you know, I'm a UNC Greensboro alumni, so I'm definitely going to be checking out my fellow Spartans. Let's go across Greensboro to North Carolina A&T on Saturday. Trevor Stewart and sophomore Randolph Ross Jr., senior Elijah Young, and junior Daniel Stokes won the NCAA Indoor National Championship in the 4x400 meter relay to give the North Carolina A&T men's program, indoor or outdoor, its first ever national championship. A&T's 4x400 team did its thing on Saturday. The foursome ran a 3-minute, 3-second, 16 millisecond race, the 5th fastest time in NCAA history, to outlast the University of Kentucky's 3:03.61. The Aggies are the first historically black college or university to win an NCAA indoor title in the 4x400 since Morgan State won it in back-to-back years in 1965 and 66, the first 2 years of the NCAA indoor championships. Shout out to those Aggies at North Carolina A&T for bringing that national championship home and being one of the best track teams in the entire country. And finally, we head down to the bottom of the Triad to High Point. For the first time in program history, the High Point women's basketball team is advancing to the NCAA women's basketball tournament after defeating Campbell 62-46 in the 2021 Hercules Tires Big South Women's Basketball Championship on Sunday. Jensen Edwards led the Panthers with 19 points on the day, while also dishing out a team-high 5 assists. The redshirt sophomore averaged 14.7 points, 7.0 rebounds, and 5.3 assists over the 3 games in the tournament to be named the Big South Tournament MVP, the first in team history. Joining her on the all-tournament team was Skylar Curran after finishing with 14 points in the title game to be the only other Panther in double digits on Sunday. Shout out to those Lady Panthers and good luck to you guys as you begin your NCAA women's tournament bid. A lot of stuff going on right now. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll hit you up with the morning headlines, the 3 biggest stories of the day. Plus, James Wilson will be back to do a little true-false NBA edition. Are the Nets better off without Kevin Durant? True or false? That and more. You're listening to the Franchise Players on TobaccoRoadSportsRadio.com.